Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Thursday, March 3rd, 2011, and I'm Darko. Welcome to part 4 of this news bulletin. I don't have a lot of articles left, but I had just enough to basically include it into a 4th video. So we covered this: U.S. to send warships to Mediterranean to support Europe's defense shield. Oh, is that why they're sending warships to the Mediterranean? Oh, because I could have thought it had something to do with the Middle East. No, it's about the defense shield. Oh, okay, all right. Like I said before, go back to sleep if you believe that. U.S., UK, French forces land in Libya. India sending 3 warships in support. Gaddafi vows to triumph over enemy. United States, Britain, France have sent several hundred defense advisors to train and support the anti-Gaddafi forces in oil-rich eastern Libya, where rebels armed groups have apparently taken over. Then we have 3 Dutch Marines captured in Libya. Forces loyal to Libyan ruler Muammar Gaddafi have captured 3 Dutch Marines that were trying to rescue 2 European citizens near the port of Sirte in Libya. It says the Marines landed near the port of Sirte by a Linux helicopter that was on board a Dutch HMS Tromp Navy ship. So, and I'm going to go here. We didn't bomb Libyan town, Gaddafi's son said. Colonel Gaddafi's son has exclusively claimed on Sky News that Libyan government forces have not bombed the rebel-controlled eastern town of Brega. And it says here, Libya, Russia, China joined France in opposing military action against Gaddafi. Well, that doesn't make any sense because French forces have just landed in Libya, so not really sure how true this is, but Russia and China have expressed misgivings about military action against the Libyan regime and are opposing the establishment of no-fly zones over the strife-torn North African country. And the no-fly zone means they're basically going to start bombing people, bombing areas. Doubts surround Gaddafi's chemical weapons arsenal. U.S. intelligence agencies are reporting that forces loyal to Gaddafi have stepped up security around Libya's principal remaining stockpiles of agents used in chemical weapons. So just like Saddam Hussein, who never had weapons of mass destruction or yellow cake uranium, we're going to go in there, we're going to take them out, and we're going to stay there and occupy that country forever. We're going to build the biggest base in history, and we're never going to leave there. And it's going to be great for everyone. Democracy for all. Libya rebels march west as front firm. Gaddafi opponents are seen moving out of Benghazi. Pentagon orders 2 warships to Mediterranean. And it says, oh, why would they say that? They're going there for the missile shield in Europe. A ragtag army of opponents to Colonel Gaddafi began moving west towards Tripoli from the east, and the U.S. ordered 2 warships to the Med as the prospect of an extended war loomed over Libya. 2 Iranian warships crossed Suez Canal and they arrived at Egypt's port, said Thursday en route to Iran, a Suez Canal office source told Xinhua. Israel prepares for major military operations after the overthrow of Mubarak. Israel has created rapid reaction forces in case the situation in Judea and Samaria gets out of control, and it enhanced the guard of a number of military and civilian targets inside the country and abroad. Press TV, Yemeni ruler apologizes to Israel and U.S. White House has announced that Yemeni ruler Abdul Saleh has apologized to the U.S. and Israel for previously blaming the recent uprisings in his country on them. I apologize. Yemen's Saleh urged to quit. It says here, Yemen's opposition and religious figures are pressuring the country's unpopular ruler to step down by the end of the year in response to the nationwide anti-government protests. Egypt's prime minister quits as armies seen responding to demands. Egypt's military junta starts handing out jail sentences, and activists are freaking out. So there you go, right? We knew what it was going to be. It was going to be a military dictatorship or the Muslim Brotherhood that was going to be taken over. Either way, whether it's a military dictatorship like the one that was already there, or a Muslim Islamic state, or a democracy or a democratic state, they're all going to be funded and backed by the West. So see what I mean? They always win. They always win. They're 10 steps ahead of us, guys. So all we can do is make videos like this until we die and promote freedom and individual freedom and sovereignty, right? And privacy rights. And, you know, that's all we can do until the day we die because, you know, honestly, I don't see this going away in my lifetime. You know, I'm not going to act as if I'm a one-man show that's going to just stop all of it and fight the New World Order and end it all. I'm not. It's going to take millions and, if not billions of people to really wake the hell up and see what statism really is. You know, it's nothing but blood and lies. That's it. Blood, lies, and theft. You know, just murder. And, you know, so just keep doing what we're doing, spreading the truth, and hopefully enough slaves out there, enough zombies will snap out of it, right? So Shiites stage protests in Saudi oil province. This is a big deal. Saudi Shiites stage protests in 2 towns in Saudi Arabia's oil-producing eastern province on Thursday, demanding the release of prisoners they say are being held without trials. And if Saudi Arabia kicks off, as far as protests and revolts go, you can be rest assured that even though they don't have as much oil as they claim, oil prices will skyrocket to $200 a barrel. Protests spreading in Bahraini capital, so still kicking off in Bahrain. Oman uses tanks to disperse protesters. Things are heating up in Oman. And next up is DPRK urges South Korea, U.S. to stop military drills. The Democratic People's Republic of Korea on Wednesday urged South Korea and the U.S. to stop targeted joint military exercises. Why? Well, because it's provoking a war between North Korea, China, and South Korea and the West, the U.S. Violent death of Chinese college student triggers indignation online, and authorities believed to be responsible. Then we have China investigate police assaults against foreign journalists, and says here unidentified man surround a foreign journalist after they pushed him to the ground in Beijing on the 27th. Chinese government should immediately investigate a recent incident in which more than a dozen members of the foreign media were assaulted or intimidated by uniformed Chinese police and plainclothes thugs. I wonder who those guys are. Those guys work for the government, guys. They're just like everywhere else, plainclothes thugs. They're provocateurs that throw Molotov cocktails and trash cans through private property, and then they call it anarchism. That's not anarchism. In downtown Beijing, Human Rights Watch said on Today, it says a failure to thoroughly investigate such incidences fosters a culture of official impunity for attacks against the press in China. Next up, 90 million Chinese people have quit the Communist Party. And then we have this. A man takes box cutters onto JetBlue plane at JFK. You know, 20 years ago, this wouldn't even be newsworthy, right? It's like, you can put up here, a man takes a bottle of hairspray on a plane at JFK, and it's news, right? And I just read a story today about how the TSA is going to get, quote, schooled and disciplined over allowing this, right? That's basically what they were saying. We take this very seriously. So, the other article was that there was someone that was actually bringing firearms, and that, it was an agent, a federal agent, who was able to walk past detections, and basically he got away with it, and nothing happened, and they said, "Ooh, bad TSA." But like I said before, the whole terrorism, the idea of terrorism is a false notion. You are the terrorist. If you're talking like I'm talking, you are the terrorist. So it's all set up for you. It's not set up for this whole fake war on terror. And so when you go to the airport and all that stuff, it's not really meant to prevent terrorist attacks, because if the government wants to carry them out or allow them to happen, it'll happen. So it doesn't matter how much, if you get full, now they're having digital cavity searches and DNA scans, and body scanners that are even going to have more radiation. It doesn't matter if you subject yourself to all that. You're not going to be any safer. Football player who kicked owl to death receives death threats. I didn't even really watch this video until today. I thought it was going to be worse, but I was still kind of disturbed by it. And it says a professional football player who fatally kicked an owl that landed on the pitch during a game in Colombia has received death threats over the incident. I guess the owl was the mascot for the other team, and it got hit by a soccer ball, and it was kind of sitting there, and it said it was injured. So what did the player decide to do of the opposing team? Well, he just kicked it. So, and then he basically acted as if he was the victim because he was getting death threats. He said that, I think we should all just move on. So he didn't sound very apologetic about it. James Taylor hopes Americans recognize Obama as remarkable leader. And the only reason I say that is because if it wasn't on TV, you think he'd really apologize? No. Do you think he's going to do it again? torture animals, kill animals, whatever. Probably. I'm not saying they killed animals before, but anyways. So we got James Taylor hopes Americans recognize Obama as remarkable leader. James Taylor, recognized at the White House on Wednesday for his musical achievement, told reporters that President Barry Soetoro has been too modest about his accomplishments. So, and lastly, I'll leave you with this: Blade Runner sequel planned 30 years on, and now we have a sequel to Red Dawn, except it's the Chinese. Now we have Blade Runner sequel. It said a sequel to the classic science fiction film Blade Runner is being planned 30 years after its initial release. So you can go and check that out. If you've never seen Soylent Green, I recommend checking it out. I watched half of it and I didn't finish it for some reason, and then I ended up finishing it, and I just gotta say it's pretty crazy. The whole movie is about how people are eating other people as they're starving on the streets and rioting for more of these Soylent Green, which is basically dead people. And how does it get done? Well, it's simpler. It's similar to Logan's Run, where people voluntarily go and kill themselves, allow themselves to be euthanized in order to fill some kind of higher purpose, right? And so it's a theme that's in a lot of quote science fiction movies, just like Brave New World in 1984 are science fiction. No, these are the people that were headed to write these things. These are ideas and philosophies that are part of the elites and the scientists, right? Scientific elite, as we call them, and that's what they want. So they're just showing us, the slaves, what is to come, and they're also discussing it with each other by writing it in these books, and they call it science fiction as if it's not going to happen or it's not happening, much like chemtrails are not happening. But you know, if you just keep your eyes open, and like I said, you just keep doing what you can do to spread the truth, that's all you need to know. You don't need people to tell you that you know, it's real. You just got to do your own research. So I'm going to leave you with that, and thank you for joining me, everybody. This is GGN, and I'm Darko. Thank you.